I guess we're about to start. So, Ramon, are you ready?
I am ready.
Well, let's go then. Welcome once again to Lessons from Leaders. This is the fourth episode in the series. Today, my guest is Ramon, a second year student at St. Mary's University, alumni. Yeah. Today, we want to talk about leadership, but leadership from a student's perspective, where he's in school and he's also running the business. Ramon, welcome.
Thank you, Sir Emo. Happy to be here. It's a privilege. I really appreciate the honor.
Excellent. Now, I always start with how we met. So, Ramon, in your own words, first time we met, how did we meet?
Ah, it's all surrounding entrepreneurship. So Emo was at a panel discussion for the BPOC event. I think it was a TD inclusion event. And he spoke on entrepreneurship. And let me tell you, this man has some gems. This man just keeps dropping gems. And after the event, I confronted him. I was like, hey, nice to meet you. My name is Ramon. And then since then, we just bloom, and here we are now.
There you go. Now, did we meet at the hallway? I think I was putting up posters. Was it you I met? Yes, it was you.
Yeah, so that was a first encounter. So before, the full-blown introduction of me speaking to him, I saw him putting up a poster for his book. He was giving a free book. Well, he was promoting a free book on campus and was just walking around putting up posters. He saw me. I was like, hey, 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 here's a poster for a free book. Trust me, if you read this book, you're gonna be successful in life. And so said, so done. Here we are growing like a couple months later.
Excellent. So, before I go in and we talk about this, I know we had, well, how about this? Why don't you just tell us when you came to Canada, what you're doing, so people just get to know a little bit about you before we dive in.
All right, absolutely. So I'm originally from Jamaica, came here in Canada around September in 2022. I started studying at SMU around that time. I went straight into entrepreneurship and just business because I'm very business minded. And then since then, I've just been getting out there in the community, trying to network, trying to build my knowledge base and just build that community. So far, so good. And here we are.
There you go. Now, I remember in December, we had a Zoom meeting.
Yeah.
And what was that all about?
Basically just putting my best life forward, taking that risk, taking that first step. Um, it was a scary time, as I was saying to Emo, that putting yourself out there is a bit hard because there's so much contributing factors, so much risk, so much people say, hearsay, this and that. And then Emo just basically guided me and told me that life is about taking risks and just putting your first step out there. No matter how small, no matter how horrible it may seem, just putting yourself out there and grow from there because what is life without risk?
Well, this is true. So, I know you, as a student, you have to manage academic, and then in this case, where you're trying to start a business, you have to manage that too. So, first of all, tell us what business have you started, and
All right.
also, how do you manage all of that, including your social life, because you gotta live a little too, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So one of the primary businesses that I started was a TikTok with one of my friends. It's called Your International Boy and Girl. So basically, we just talk about international student experiences, so struggles that you face, and we also put a little bit of jokes up in there. Just going to financial aid for support because that's our best friend right there. And just understanding living in a whole new country, the different concepts, different cultures, how to be accepting, accommodating, and understanding of everyone else. Along with that, I have my other jobs. I work within the Black community to help to build the Black ecosystem and just help, what should I say, racialize individuals, put their best life forward, achieve the same goal just as everyone else because we're all the same, but we're just here with some opposition from the other side.
Gotcha. So, let's talk about TikTok for a moment because I know that that was kind of what we spoke about on the 28th of December. I have that date burned in my
Specific,
brain.
very
Yeah,
specific.
20th of December. So, what was that all about, and how did you get to the topic of what you started doing your content about?
Genuinely, it was just mainly me applying the skills and the mindset that I have. I've been sitting on my talents, so to speak, because I'm a very sociable person. I get along with people, super outgoing. So I've been sitting on that talent, and when after speaking with you, you kind of opened the door and told me that Ramon, you need to let the world know, let the world see what you're all about. And then since then, it's just been uphill, and TikTok has showed me that okay, Roman, you can do it. And in the first video, we got how much 45,000 views on the
Wow.
first video. And that's really good. And that's really motivated us to put our continue doing what we're doing and continue making good content. So here we are.
There you go. How many videos have you posted to date?
To date, I think we're around 6 videos, and we touch on concepts, well, topics of coming here, what you need, living here, what it's like having the culture of the Jamaican culture here and applying it to your current situation, giving that sense of home.
Right. So now, again, to balance all of that, you talked about school, TikTok, the businesses you do on the side. Can you give some specific strategies or tools that you use to manage your time effectively and also prioritize school because that's what you came here for, first of all?
Yeah, so absolutely. So one of my main things that I always keep in my head is my goal, my end goal. You're here for school, Ramon. Though you have other external things, you're still here for school. That's the main concept. So having that as my priority, I often just ensure that everything for that is done. Then whatever else time I have, I apply it to jobs and my personal work. Um, the strategy I use is just I want to say the determination and just that sword over my head from my parents. So they know that hey, I sent you here to do good and come out in school on top. So that's the expectation they have of me. So I keep every time I go to anything or apply, try to do anything new, I always remember, hey Ramon, you have a duty to, excel in school and be the best version of yourself. And also people are looking up to you, like whether you like it or not, people are back home looking up to you. People are here looking up to you, and they have big expectations. So I use that as my little driving force in time management and getting everything right.
So do you use a calendar also, or how do you keep things from overlapping? I guess is what I'm trying.
Genuinely, I want to say shout out to Shanika. Sometimes she keeps me grounded. I do have a calendar, but things change and I don't feel like calendars work for me. I'm a very spontaneous person. Like if you tell me tomorrow, here, let's grab lunch, I'll say, okay, cool. And I know my schedule in my head. I know what needs to get done. And I just use prioritization. What's more important while considering deadlines.
Right, that's good. Smart, smart advice for the students. Now, if you were talking to other students, as again with your content starts to, I guess the word the cool young people say is blow up or something, right? So,
Yeah.
so as your content blows up, and people start looking at you, and of course you have students who want to emulate what you're doing or copy what you're doing. What kind of advice will you give to students who are considering starting their own business, whatever it is, just like you have?
Take the risk. Take the risk. Listen, the road seems blurry. There's no light at the end of the tunnel. But the moment you hit the track, the moment you hit the road, you realize that it's a beautiful journey. It's a beautiful journey. Yes, there's going to be hiccups. You're going to have a flat tire. But at the end of the day, that's all a part of the experience. When you finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, you'll be like, oh my God, I'm so happy I did this. And it's just beneficial. You can look back and say, look at my journey. I did all of this by myself, and here we are celebrating. I'm so happy that I did it. So just take the risk. Don't be afraid. It's gonna be scary. It is scary, but take the risk.
That's good advice. I mean, I know that even for my own business, it is taking a risk, coming on camera to talk and you wonder what people are going to say. And then you realize it doesn't matter what people say. It's just whatever goals you're trying to get to and the effort you have to put in. And usually in the
Absolutely.
beginning, and even going on, it takes work and focus and determination to stick with things because some things take time. And in fact, many good things take time to build. I know that when you go on YouTube, people show the overnight success. I just woke up in the morning and I made $1 million or whatever the scoop is. But the truth is, life is not like that, and that's
True.
a lot of times is just to get clicks, right? It's clickbait.
True.
So I always tell people, look, good things take time,
Yep.
and
Good
you have
things.
to be willing to put in the time whether you feel like it or not. It's not a thing of feeling. Is you know
Absolutely.
exactly what you have to do every day, and you do it whether you feel like it or not.
And
And
Rome wasn't built in a day, so you just have to keep that in the back of your head that everything's gonna take a little bit of time, and the process might be tedious, but the end goal is really good.
excellent. So how does Ramon with his good hair, since I have none, how does Ramon take care of himself, mental health, physical health, all of that. How do you take care of that? What do you do to stay happy? I mean, I've always seen you smiling and laughing and all that stuff. How do you do
Uh, Genuinely, I feel like one of the main things that keep me going are my friends. Just a good support system. Like whenever I need something or I'm feeling down or I need a little push, I can always count on my friends. I have a really fun group of friends, hilarious group of people. Like the things these people do. So just being around them, just uplifts me and just continue to keep me going forward. Also, self-care, taking time out to just breathe, rethink, reconfigure, and just keep going forward. One of the ways I do that is through walking. I feel like walking is a really good way of just clearing your head and just keep moving forward because this life is a pain in the butt. This life is a pain in the butt. And if you don't let it go and just clear your head, you're going to be caught up in the whole mess like a tornado. Like everything's going to be chaotic. So just figuring out what works for you. If that means going for lunch, going for a walk, going running, just trying something new, new food, new places, then that's a good way of just balancing out everything and prioritizing mental health and your personal health.
It's good. So, Ramon, in the last month or 2 months, because I know I've seen you in quite a number of the events. Actually, you seem to attend just about every event that happens at St. Mary's and some. What experience or experiences have you learned that have helped you so far to juggle all these things? Are there any new things you learned? And then the second question to that would be, um, now that you know what you know, what will you have done differently? Will you have started early on, or are you just one of those who would say, well, you know what, it was the right time, things just had to come together, and then that's when you started? So the first one is memorable experiences in the last 2 to 3 months that you want to talk about.
One of the major one was hosting the launch of the Black Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub. Genuinely, that experience really put my head in a whole different perspective. Uh, who would have thought that I could have hosted the launch of the Black Entrepreneurship Knowledge Hub, one of the critical things to the Black ecosystem, especially in Canada, here in the East Coast. So having that opportunity really opened so much doors for me and showed me that, hey, it's all inside of your head. Like you can really do what you put your mind to, regardless of the circumstances and regardless of what's going on around you. And also that your network, who you meet really plays an important part in where you go, and the connection that you make, you should keep them. So when you meet someone, people tend to be like, okay, later, see you soon. No, I believe that see you soon is a bit of a understatement. See you tomorrow or continue connecting later rather than, okay, this is it. I'll see you whenever I see you again. No, keep in connection, keep it going. If you have a question, shoot it to the person or just text them, hey, nice to have met you at the event yesterday. Keep it flowing and just keep that network together. So those two things really help me to, put myself forward and like those are two crucial things that I've learned since I've been here over the past, 2 to 3 months.
Excellent. Well, I do exactly the same thing. When I go to any event and I get names, I try to be the first person to send a message. So as soon as I get home or whatever, I send a message saying thank you, and then I try to relate something that we talked about or something that would help them crystallize the moment that we met. So
And I
that's something
remember
I've
you
always
doing
done.
that. You did that with me after the event. I think the TD launch. You reached out to me via LinkedIn and said it was great meeting you and happy to continue speaking with you and keeping the connection going. And I love that. And look at us now.
There you go. Look at that. So I'm going to go with this one now, and that's now that you know what you know. You've been in Canada now for about 2 years. Would you
Yes.
have done anything differently if you had known what you know now back then when you first came?
Honestly, as I believe in timing. I personally don't rush things. As much as the situation may seem dire, I'm not going to overextenuate myself. I just feel like timing is of the essence, and like you need time to mold yourself. You need time to grow and become who you are. And sometimes we approach things prematurely and we go into it not knowing anything. Sometimes it works out well, but oftentimes it takes the wrong turn and you end up looking like a fool. So just giving yourself the time to grow, mature, develop the necessary skills that you need, and just take your time. Yes, time is moving, but at the same time, you have to be prepped and ready for whatever life gives you. And life has a weird way of teaching you things, whether it means delaying the process or just not making the process happen at all. So believe in timing. I'm heavy on timing, so timing works best for me. And that's the one thing that I wouldn't change. Like whatever happened in the past and whatever happened now, it's just all about the timing. If whatever opportunity I miss, it was meant to happen. It was not meant to be. Yes.
Look at that. That's pure leadership talk over there. So well done on that. All 21 years young. My goodness.
There we
That's
go.
great. That's good. So before we wrap up here, you had mentioned some of the businesses that you're in. I want to give people the opportunity to find you in the areas where you want people to connect with. So this is where you can talk about, what are your different social handles or whatever thing where people can come and see what you've done or hear more of what you're talking about. And also for international students coming in to get some of the tips that you have, that you and Shaneka share to
Yep.
help them go through this process. So here's your floor, or here's your time on the floor to say those things.
Perfect. So, my socials or well, my name is Ramon Socials. You can find me on LinkedIn and that. I post most of my, business content there, and I also have the TikTok, which is the International Boy and Girl, which is INTLBOYANDGIRL. And there we post like, immigrant things. So come in here, what to expect, what not to expect. And we also put a little touch of, Jamaican on it just to razzle dazzle up everything because we can't go plain, we can't go simple. We have to
Yeah.
incorporate the culture in it as well. Also, listen, you can find me anywhere. I'm here at SMU. I'm in the Entrepreneurship Center. I'm involved with the Caribbean Society, so I'm not that hard to miss. And if you need me any further, you can find me on Instagram. If my handle is Ramon underscore NOD. And yeah, we can go from there. Also, to the people who are coming here, listen, just don't be afraid. When you come, put yourself out there because if you don't put yourself out there, no one will know you, no one will know what you're about and who you are. And right now, I'm doing facilitations. I have never done facilitation in my life, but just putting myself out there has opened so many doors to hosting events, to doing different things. Yesterday, was it yesterday? On Saturday, I was hosting Tia's launch radio show party. And who would have known I would have been there with one of the top black women in Canada. So
Right.
just putting yourself out there and just taking the risk. And there you go. Life will open and life will happen.
Excellent. Well said. Now, Ramon, what you can do is send me all those links. So I could post them in the description of the video when we post that. And look, I want to thank you for coming on and doing this call with me. Um, you're the youngest guest I've had to date on the program, and
Whoa.
you know, there was one I did for Ash. I don't know if you saw that video where some guy who I met, random stranger, and I got him a managerial job with a big company here, and it was just we
Whoa.
talked about the journey of that. But I think he is 26, so you still meet him. You should check out that video. So
I
yes,
will.
send me the links so I could post them. And you know what? Look, I wish you continued success in all you do. I
Thank
hope
you.
that you continue to accept and understand that you can do anything you want to as long as you put your mind to it.
There you go.
And
That's right.
I see you as a big example to people coming in to see, this is guy who's coming here doing his thing. He's happy. He's plugging in into the ecosystem, and because of that, you're able to do things that most people can't do, right? And you said it right. Your network is your net worth.
There you go. And also, I just want to say, Emo, thank you for the opportunity. It's great you are, what should I say, a superstar, man. Like everything that you have done, like open all the doors you have opened for people, not just myself, but I know a lot of people in the community who can speak on your behalf that you really, made an impact on their life. So just keep doing you and just continue that trailblazing work that you're doing. It is really commendable and people are seeing it. Also, I just want to say to everyone, this little quote that I use for my life is work hard, have fun, make history.
Word. You know what? That's a good place to end. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again soon.
Thank you, Ema. Have a good one and enjoy the rest of the day.